We live in a world overflowing with information. It's coming at us from all directions: social media, news websites, our friends and families. It can be overwhelming. How do we separate fact from fiction? How do we make sure we're not being misled? This is where the SIFT technique comes in. SIFT is like a trusty compass, guiding us through the information maze. It's a simple four-step process that helps us evaluate information and make smarter decisions. Whether you're scrolling through your social media feed or considering a major life change, SIFT can help you navigate with confidence. Think of all the times you've seen a shocking headline or heard a juicy piece of gossip. Did you immediately believe it, or did you take a moment to question it? With SIFT, questioning becomes second nature. In a world of clickbait and misinformation, SIFT is your superpower. Let's dive in and discover how to use it. Imagine this: you're scrolling through your social media feed and a post catches your eye. It's a shocking headline about a political scandal. Your first instinct might be to believe it, especially if it confirms your existing beliefs. But before you hit the share button, stop. The first step of SIFT is simple but crucial. Stop. Take a breath. Don't let your emotions or biases take over. Our brains are wired to react quickly to information, especially if it's emotionally charged. But this can lead to hasty judgments and poor decisions. When you feel that urge to react immediately, hit the brakes. Ask yourself, why am I reacting this way? Is this information making me feel angry, scared, or excited? These emotions can cloud our judgment and make us more susceptible to manipulation. By pausing, we give ourselves time to think rationally and critically. Remember, taking a moment to stop is not about being passive. It's about being in control of your information intake. By taking a moment to pause, you empower yourself to make better decisions. This small act of stopping can prevent the spread of misinformation and help you stay grounded. So next time, before you react, remember to hit the brakes and think critically. You've hit the brakes. Now it's time to investigate. Just like a detective, you need to gather all the clues and piece together the puzzle. Just like you wouldn't get on a plane without knowing who the pilot is, you shouldn't accept information without knowing its source. In today's digital age, information is everywhere, but not all of it is trustworthy. You need to be vigilant. Start by asking yourself a few key questions. Who created this information? What are their credentials? Are they an expert in the field? What is their purpose in sharing this? Are they trying to inform, persuade, or entertain you? Is it to inform, persuade, or entertain? Understanding the intent behind the information is crucial. Look for clues within the website or social media profile. Check the About page, author bio, and other articles they've published. Does the website have a clear bias? Is it leaning towards a particular political or commercial agenda? Is the social media account verified? Verification can sometimes indicate credibility, but it's not a guarantee. A little bit of digging can go a long way in determining the reliability of the source. Don't just take things at face value. Let's say you're reading an article about the benefits of a new health supplement. It sounds promising, but you need to dig deeper. A quick search reveals that the article was published on a website that sells the supplement. This is a red flag. This is a red flag. The information might be biased, and the website's primary goal is to sell you something, not necessarily to provide unbiased information. The information might be biased, and the website's primary goal is to sell you something, not necessarily to provide unbiased information. Always be skeptical and question the motives behind the information. Remember, every piece of information has a source, and understanding that source is crucial for determining its credibility. Always trace the information back to its origin and evaluate its trustworthiness. Imagine relying on only one friend for all your news and information. Sounds risky, right? The same principle applies to information gathering in general. Finding better coverage means looking for information from multiple, diverse sources. Don't just rely on the first thing you see. Seek out different perspectives, even those that challenge your own views. Think of it like putting together a puzzle. Each piece of information you find is like a puzzle piece. The more pieces you gather from different sources, the clearer the bigger picture becomes. Let's say you're researching a controversial topic like climate change. It's important to consult a variety of sources: scientific journals, reputable news outlets, and even organizations with different viewpoints. This will give you a more comprehensive understanding of the issue. Remember, the goal is not to find information that confirms your existing beliefs, but to get as close to the truth as possible, and that requires exploring a diversity of perspectives. Think critically, engaging your inner detective. You've stopped, investigated the source, and found better coverage. Now it's time for the final, and perhaps most important, step: think critically. This is where you put on your detective hat and examine the evidence. Ask yourself, does this information make sense? Is it consistent with what I already know? Are there any logical fallacies or inconsistencies in the argument? Don't be afraid to question everything. Just because something is presented as a fact doesn't mean it's true. Look for evidence to support the claims being made. Think about the potential biases of the sources you've consulted. Everyone has biases, and it's important to be aware of how those biases might influence the information being presented. Remember, critical thinking is not about being cynical or dismissive. It's about engaging with information actively and thoughtfully. It's about being curious, asking questions, and seeking the truth. SIFT in action: media literacy and online information. In this section, we will explore how to apply the SIFT method to evaluate online information critically. Let's bring SIFT to life with a real-world example. This will help you understand how to use SIFT in your daily online interactions. Imagine you come across a Facebook post claiming that a certain food causes cancer. Such posts can be alarming and often spread quickly. The post includes a link to a website with a scientific-sounding name. It looks credible at first glance, but appearances can be deceiving. Instead of immediately panicking or sharing the post, you hit the brakes. It's crucial to take a moment to evaluate the information before reacting. You click on the website's About Us page and discover it's run by a group that sells natural health products. This is a significant clue. This raises a red flag. It's important to question the motives behind the information being presented. Could they have a financial incentive to promote this information? Always consider who benefits from the information being shared. You search for the food and cancer on reputable websites like the National Institutes of Health or the Mayo Clinic. These sources are known for their reliability. You find articles that present a more balanced view, explaining that while some studies have shown a potential link, more research is needed. This helps you see the bigger picture. You consider the evidence from multiple sources. This is a key step in ensuring that you are not misled by a single piece of information. You realize that the initial Facebook post was based on a single study and didn't present the full picture. This is a common tactic used to mislead readers. By using SIFT, you've successfully navigated a potentially misleading piece of online information. You've taken control of the narrative, you've avoided making decisions based on fear or incomplete information. This is the power of media literacy and the SIFT method in action. SIFT in action: personal decision-making. SIFT isn't just for evaluating online information, it's a powerful tool for personal decision-making. Let's say you're considering a major career change. Instead of impulsively quitting your job, you take a step back to assess the situation. You ask yourself, why do I want to make this change? Is it because I'm unhappy with my current job, or are there other factors at play? You talk to people in your desired field, research different career paths, and explore the financial implications of making a change. You weigh the pros and cons, considering both the potential benefits and risks of making a switch. You create a plan and set realistic expectations. By using SIFT, you've approached your career change with a critical and thoughtful mindset. You're making an informed decision, not just acting on a whim. SIFT in action: problem solving. SIFT can also be a valuable tool for problem solving. Let's say you're facing a conflict with a coworker. Instead of reacting defensively or angrily, you take a moment to calm down and assess the situation. You try to understand the root cause of the conflict. What are the underlying issues? What are each person's perspectives and needs? You might seek advice from a trusted colleague or mentor, or you might try to see the situation from your coworker's point of view. You consider different solutions and their potential outcomes. You strive for a resolution that addresses the core issues and respects everyone's needs. By using SIFT, you've approached the conflict with a clear and level-headed mindset. You're more likely to find a solution that is fair, respectful, and beneficial for everyone involved. Conclusion: empowering yourself with SIFT. In today's world, critical thinking is more important than ever. We are bombarded with information from all sides, and it can be difficult to know what to believe. The SIFT technique provides a simple yet powerful framework for navigating this complex information landscape. SIFT empowers us to be more discerning consumers of information. It helps us to identify misinformation, avoid manipulation, and make smarter decisions in all areas of our lives. By practicing SIFT regularly, we develop critical thinking skills that serve us well in all aspects of our lives. We become more informed citizens, more discerning consumers, and more effective decision makers. So, the next time you encounter a piece of information that seems too good to be true, or you're faced with a difficult decision, remember SIFT. It's your key to unlocking a world of clarity, confidence, and informed action.